Good morning, grade 7. Welcome back to design, and it's the middle of the week of week number 3. Your task and your task instructions are located on ManageBack. Under here, it's grade 7 design, online learning, 07 April. The due date for this task is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., which is April the 8th. Quick reminder of your class attendance. That this task is due tomorrow morning, 8th of April at 7 a.m. If you do not upload your task as a PDF to ManageBack, then I will mark you absent. Okay. If you submit your work after this time, please email me or message me via Google Hangouts, and then I can go back and change your attendance for this class. I should see a list of documents here of PDFs for your attendance, okay? Attendance is also based on work inside the document or completing the task, okay? So you can't just upload a blank document. I will be checking your Google document. Today's video, and here are the teacher slides that can support you if you are a visual learner, okay? Instructions for today's class. Remember, this will count towards your summative grade for Criterion A. Find your task sheet. Log into Google Classroom, S2 Grade 7 Design, and then find the assignment named April 7th, Lesson 3, Grade 7, Unit 3, COVID-19 Design Challenge. Load your task sheet. You're having 3 pages here. Your introduction page with your assessment criteria, which we will go over. Your page 2, which is task A, where you are going to review Mr. Nick's ideal space and then identify features and items of well-being in his space, and then create lists. And task B, on page 3, task B, review existing product inquiry questions. So these questions here are related to your task A, okay? Again, a reminder that your task sheet as a PDF file is needed by 7 a.m. in the morning, the next morning. Your primary help today will be Mr. Nick, so contact me by Google Hangouts, Google Classroom, or my email address there. Okay, let's take you through. I'll start with the teacher slides, and we'll see if we can. We're continuing on with this design challenge. We'll eventually get into the making part next week. Just a reminder, we're looking at the well-being of yourself during self-isolation and for your learning. So there are 3 areas of well-being that we're looking at. Your academics, so what environment or what do we need around ourselves physically, or what type of space do we need to do well in our learning? We want to look at our physical environment, or our environment for physical activity. Obviously, we know that you're at school, online, you're sitting down a lot. What does this mean? How can I have stuff around me, or activities or spaces for me to do physical activity, which is good for your body and your health? And then social emotional, which really encompasses a lot of things, including your physical and academic. But how do we get time just to relax? What things do we need around in our space that allows us just to relax, so we're not always in front of our computer screen or sitting down in front of our table at our desk working? Okay, so we're going to review an existing product. This is part of Criterion A. Your existing product you're going to review is Mr. Nick's ideal space for practicing social distancing. So when you get on your task sheet, you'll have a link that allows you to access this document down here, which is a series of screenshots on 3 different pages of a space that I designed that would be ideal for me for social distancing, that allows me to work. So my academic work, being a teacher, gives me some space for physical activity and a time for just downtime, a chillax time. All right. So we want you to open that up, look at this, and on a scrap of paper, identify 4 feature or items in Mr. Nick's, in my ideal space, for each of the areas of well-being: academic, physical, and social emotional. Okay. I need to change that right there. Okay. So have that down on a piece of paper. Obviously, I can't see the piece of paper, so we want to put this into the document. And in your document, you've been given a diagram that looks like this. Now, if you double click on that diagram on your task sheet, it will open up in drawing. In your drawing, you're able to add in text into each of these boxes. So this is where you want to put the list that you've created for each of those areas into these boxes. Now remember, you need to click Save and Close, and then this will populate with your list into it. I'll show you this at the second half of this video, how to do that with the actual document. You need to do your inquiry questions. They're relatively basic, but they go into the reviewing part and the analysis part of the product. So the questions are down here. Oops, sorry. What is one positive feature of Mr. Nick's ideal space? Why is this a positive feature? So it's opinion-based. What is one negative feature of Mr. Nick's ideal space? Why is this negative? Describe 2 ways you would improve Mr. Nick's ideal space for your own needs. So if you happen to be in that space, what would you change or how would you improve it, okay? Again, a lot of your assessment is based on how well and how detailed and in depth you go into your answer, okay? So spend some time on that. 4, next page, is your assessment criteria. So 3 and 4, identify states 4 features of each area of well-being. This is if you just do task A. This is a combination of task A and B and a combination of task A and B. And depending on the depth and level in which you are describing your inquiry questions. So take some time to look at this and also check your work before you submit it to me for marking, that you feel comfortable about where you sit, okay? Reminder, like last time, I will be giving you feedback during the class period. So be sure that you wait for that feedback before you submit. Remember, you have that evening plus till the next morning to submit this work, so you're able to read my feedback. So let's open up the actual task here. It's under S2 Grade 7 Design, Classwork. And we'll click Open. On the task sheet, I actually have the assessment criteria at the front. It's fine. And there's detailed instructions here, which is to identify key features which promote academic, physical, and social well-being in Mr. Nick's ideal space. If you open up Mr. Nick's ideal space, which you have the link here, you will get this. This is an overview of the space I created using a 3D design software program, which you will end up using next week. These are different parts of that space, different subsections. So I would say this is my working space. I have a working computer over here. This is kind of a creative making space. I'm a design teacher. Some bookshelves, something on the wall. This is the space up here. And this is where I need to get exercise. I can't go outside because of the virus. I need to be able to keep in shape and, mentally, physically stay on task. And then this is another part of my space, as you can see. You can look at be specific about things that you find in here, including carpets or things on the wall. This is another aspect. You can go back up and look at the bigger plan to see where this is in the larger perspective. But obviously, one needs to eat, so I needed to eat here. And yeah, just to think about, this is something that you'll be producing next week for next week class. But this is my space. Is it great? I don't know, but I like it. I definitely could make some changes to make it even better. So we go here. I've created a list now in my head or on a piece of scrap paper, and I want to now fill this diagram in. This is an image right now, so I need to double click, and then I need to be able to go in and just type. And I type in here, desk. If I don't want the indent, I can just push back and push 1 dot. Oh, don't push the space. I can go down here. I want to be as specific as possible. Okay, and you would do the same. You need 4 for all these, so you need 4 here, you need 4 here, and you need 4 here. So identify 4 for each area. Okay, and at that point, I push save and close, and what you get there is whatever you type in during that drawing, and that drawing mode, it will come up on your document as in the image. Okay, come back down here, and you're going to write in this box. To answer the question and then also explain your question, the reasoning behind it. All right. To remember that you need to download this as a PDF. So you go to File, Download, and PDF. And then go back to Manage Back and upload it. So by 7 in the morning on the 8th, I should have PDFs uploaded here. All right. One of the most important factors is that I will be giving feedback during class. So please wait for that feedback. And make those changes as soon as possible. All right. Take care.